All right, you're about to get a real sobering take on the Senate race in Pennsylvania. My next guest was on my radio program earlier, and just during the break, he gave me a little tidbit of information that we didn't have on SiriusXM Patriots. You're going to get it now for the first time. He is the author of Inner Branding, the Keystone of Corporate Agility. Marc Rudov, thanks for joining us.
Great to be here, Andrew.
Okay, you were on radio with me earlier today. You know Mehmet Oz, but you think there's a lot to be desired, huh?
Well, that's because he's not stepping up to the plate. He's not defeating John Fetterman, who is easily beatable. He just won't do it. I believe that when Mehmet Oz looks into the mirror, he sees a heart surgeon instead of a warrior. And he needs to be a warrior to kick John Fetterman's butt. John Fetterman is disabled. He had a stroke a couple of months ago. He hasn't campaigned at all in the general election. At all. And he's ahead by 11 points. How's that possible?
Well, is Mehmet Oz trying to nice guy his way? And when you're talking to him, because you told me today on radio that you've consulted him, is he trying to nice guy his way into the Senate seat?
It's not so much nice guy. I just think look, you remember when Michael Jordan became a baseball player?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Birmingham Barons, the farm team for the Chicago White Sox. He didn't show up on a baseball field wearing a basketball uniform. Oz is showing up, and in his mind, he's wearing scrubs and a stethoscope. He can't do that. And I believe that Hippocrates is sitting on his shoulder saying, do no harm, do no harm, do no harm. And he's going easy on him, not to be a nice guy, but to be a heart surgeon, a doctor. I can't hurt him. He's disabled. I shouldn't do that.
But
then
wait,
don't be a senator.
Look, I don't wish any ill will on someone because I disagree with him. But if Fetterman isn't physically up for the job, right? I mean, if he cannot stand up and debate his opponent, how is he going to serve as a United States senator? You can't just mail in. You can't mail in. You can't mail it in.
If you're in the game, you're fair game. You remember, Ronnie Jackson, who was the doctor to Bush,
Yep.
Obama, and Trump? He just wrote this book. See? He signed it Ronnie Jackson, not Dr. Ronnie Jackson. He shed his doctor identity to become a congressman. Oz has to shed his doctor identity to become a senator. He's not doing it. If he wants to be Surgeon General, then go do that. But you can't be nice to somebody who's kicking your butt, and you've spent $20-some million of your family's money to be in this race, and you're not in it to win it. So, when on April 9th, when Trump endorsed Oz because he thought he was the guy who could beat this radical left Democrat, I'm sure he is rethinking that endorsement now because Oz is not taking the ball across the goal line, if I can use another sports metaphor. So
he needs to be standing. I've seen Fetterman endorse biological men playing women's sports, single-payer health care, destroying the oil and the natural gas industry in his own state. I mean, something that I didn't think Joe Manchin would, it seems like these Democrats are getting bought off, but you even said that, like, Mehmet's walking around talking about green energy. It's like, what are you doing?
He is. And Pennsylvania is the largest supplier of natural gas in America. And I said to him, don't ever say green energy in electric cars. But he keeps doing it. And, you can't, he's defeating himself, essentially. So, Mehmet Oz can beat this guy with his eyes closed and his hands tied behind his back, but he won't do it. Fetterman is, he's a trust fund baby. He loves poverty chic. He's a ne'er-do-well. I mean, he has a bachelor's in finance, an MBA, and a degree in government, whatever, from Harvard. So the liberals love a guy from Harvard who pretends to be a bum. It's so appealing to them. The thing is, I keep saying that John Fetterman is Joe Biden's twin in a Herman Munster body.
How come the media is giving him a free pass on the allegation that he held a black man at gunpoint just for running by his house? The media is completely passed on that story. If Mehmet Oz wanted to really nail him, he should be bringing that up.
Well, because the liberal media will forgive any liberal if they think that liberal can help them. Don't forget, Democrats have no values. They only have agendas. So Fetterman can fulfill that agenda. He's winning by doing nothing. And that's the thing that's astounding. In Pennsylvania, Republicans, only 35% of Republicans in Pennsylvania are enthusiastic about Oz. No matter where I go, I've never seen an Oz yard sign. It's really amazing. I mean, this guy is very talented, very accomplished. He should be beating Fetterman easily, but he has to take him to the mat, and he won't do it. If Fetterman wants to run for Senate as a disabled guy, too bad. You're fair game. Take him down, Mehmet. Take him down.
Do you think that maybe Barnett or McCormick might have been a better endorsement for Trump at this point? I mean, look, he can be friends with Mehmet Oz, but if everything you're saying, and I believe everything that you're saying is true, if Mehmet Oz is trying to be the doctor and be the nice guy, and you said it on radio today, intellectualize all of this instead of winning, doing what it takes to win, which is not hurting the man, but yeah, a debate's a standard thing. We're not asking the man to do anything that we wouldn't ask any other candidate to do. If he's unwilling to go that extra mile to win the seat that you said is costing him $20 million, I mean, would McCormick or Barnett be a better endorsement at this point?
I don't know. The thing about Barnett is too much came out about her that made her background seem unclear. And I don't like the way she handled herself, but she was definitely a fighter. And I know McCormick also, he's a very nice guy, very accomplished guy, but when he was CEO of Bridgewater Associates, largest hedge fund in the world, he was on the World Economic Forum website talking about systemic racism. He's also associated with the Aspen Institute, which is a left-wing think tank. So, nobody's really a pure conservative here. McCormick's a fighter, but, I don't know. He's not a great candidate either. And as I told you today, I never thought he wanted to be senator anyway. I thought he wanted to be Trump's running mate in 24 and was using the Senate as a stepping stone. But that was my hypothesis. He denied that. But the point is, Mehmet is the guy.
No,
we can't talk about anybody else. Mehmet's the guy. 1 month to go until cheat by mail. 3 months to go until voting at the polling place. Can Mehmet turn it around? He can. The question really is, will he? If he doesn't become a warrior and take Fetterman down, then he won't win. Fetterman, if he's disabled and he's in the race, he's fair game. It doesn't matter what ailment he has, he's fair game. Hiding in your basement, being a candidate, is not a candidate at all. So I should go in there and just rip him to shreds. And if he won't do that, Andrew, he's not going to win, which means we're probably not going to have that majority in the U.S. Senate, and Pennsylvania is going to have Democrat governor, Democrat senator, Democrat everything. And Pennsylvania cannot afford to become a left-wing state.
All right, I got a minute 10. You want to give me the 45-second pitch for the book?
Yes, which you can find at marcrudov.com. You see it behind me. Intra-branding means that your brand, the brand, let's understand what a brand is. It's the emotional connection between a vendor and the customers, as it is between a candidate and voters. And the brand cannot succeed outside the building unless the CEO sells it inside the building. And there are all kinds of obstacles to selling it inside the building, like the CEO rarely even does that. And because of all the wokeness today, using bold, hard-hitting statements are now verboten, and CEOs are afraid to upset people. So branding is also almost becoming a lost art because CEOs are afraid of their own shadows. They're afraid of their woke employees. They're afraid of their woke critics on Twitter. But that's really what it is.